Recording in progress.
Pulinanandji, do 3 months.
Namo Vitragaya.
Namo Vitragaya.
Namo Arihantanam.
Namo Arihantanam.
Namo Siddhanam.
Namo Siddhanam.
Namo Ayariyanam.
Namo Ayariyanam.
Namo Vajayanam.
Namo Vajayanam.
Namo Loe Savasam.
Namo Loe Savasahunam.
Eso Panchana Mukkaro.
Eto Panchana Mukkaro.
Savapava Panasam. Manglanam cha Savesim.
Manglanam cha Savesim.
Padamam Havai Mangalam.
Padamam Havai Mangalam.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namah Shivaya.
Om Namah Shivaya.
Jai Satchidanand.
Jai Satchidanand.
Okay.
Okay, Jai Satchidanand. We have been talking about column number 1 and 2. So, any experience, Kaushal?
Yes, and a very weird one because I cannot explain enough.
Kaushal, you're breaking up. We cannot hear you.
I'm just about to reach home.
Nati, Kaushal, we cannot hear you. Kaushal? You're not visible. You're not audible. Jeliaban, you want to share something?
Yes, just give me a minute. I'm just going to. Jai Satchidanand. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
Yes. Yeah, regarding column 1 and 2, I mean, there were, especially column 1.
Hey, we were on one only.
Yeah, on the 1 only. 2 is not.
2 was not there. It is only column 1.
So there were a couple of instances in this week where I was almost in the middle of a confrontation. So, but I, because of, by reminding myself, I kept silent and I had to remind myself to stay in the column. And then, so that is very useful. So I completely stopped reacting. So I felt it helped me 2 times this week. So that even though the other person I felt was being unfair, or previously I would have gotten into a argument, this time it helped me just stop myself and then let it pass, so that it will automatically they will realize it or whatever. From at least from my side, I felt I shouldn't be. I mean, I should be folling the column.
What was the stopping factor? What made you stop?
Only because I had made up my mind. Okay, I had to keep reminding myself. So whenever I don't want to get into any confrontation or anything, so that helped me remind myself of the column. And I mean, definitely I won't say that I was not affected, but it helped me stop myself from saying anything, and that way I avoided injuring the other person's ego. So I felt it really helped me keep quiet.
Now, during the week, if I may ask, this reciting or asking of the strength of the first column,
yes,
during the day, throughout the day. Now, what was your this thing? How often, or when you got time, or what was your push-ups? How often would you ask the strength of the first column? Once a day, twice a day, or what was the?
Okay, yeah, I won't say that it was there. I was not thinking about it consciously all the time, but whenever an occasion would come where I have to interact with others, I reminded myself to stay in the column.
Okay, so before an interaction, you would.
Yes, I tried to remind. I reminded myself.
Okay, that's
but otherwise,
nice.
I won't say that I was thinking about it. No.
Okay, fine. Good. But at least you see the fact that you remember
Yes.
To ask the strength of the first kalam before an interaction itself is a Jagrati or awareness.
Yes, I was trying consciously I was trying to do that. Yeah.
So making that effort to remain in that Agna itself is the Purusharth. And that's good. It has given results to you.
Yes. Yes, definitely.
And steadily, as we keep on doing more and more of it, now that it will get imbibed into us.
Good. Because
nice.
At this point, because we are still just beginning, I won't say that the reaction is not there from within. It is there, but at least I stop myself from hurting the other person's ego. I won't say that I'm not hurt or I'm not reacting, but I'm not openly voicing my this thing.
That is true.
Yes.
That is perfect. That will happen to all of us. What that the impact that it is causing to us depends on our inner state and our karmic account and all that.
Yes, it is there.
But, how we take it is our Purusharth today.
Yes.
So that is perfect.
Okay.
That is where love comes in.
Yes, because we are still in that very immature state.
Love comes in.
Yes.
If the person is saying anything, you have decided to restrain yourself from not hurting the other person's ego. So it is the tap, and in this tap, that karmic account gets settled.
Yes, I hope so. There's such a
and that is the way of getting it settled, We allow the effect to either impact us or not impact us and pass away. Effect will come because of some past causes of karmas.
Yes, definitely it's there.
If we allow, there are two ways. One is we restrain ourselves, so that is sanyam, then it passes away. That is perfect. Or after some time, it will come that we'll remain separate and we'll be able to see whom is impacting.
Yes.
It is impacting number one.
Later on,
as the awareness increases. So at that point of time, even the impact portion will be washed away. That he has hurt me, I will not hurt.
Oh, okay.
Because that me is in the pure soul, not in number one.
Got it.
That is the little later on stage.
Later, yeah, of course, a long way to go.
But this is the beginning. This is the way to start.
We have to keep applying this.
Okay. Right. Dada Bhagwan did for 35-40 years. And then so I think that's fine. That's good.
JSS.
Deepakanandji? Deepakanandji, we cannot hear you.
Yeah, we can't hear anything.
This was there inside. Okay, now it must be clear and loud. So if we try to understand Dada Bhagwan's stage, what he did for 40 years, that was his previous life development, what he achieved through his long lives of Purusharth, real effort. And that made him very sincere, and he followed the 9 kalams, prayed 3 times a day, as he has said. That's how the result in 1958, Dada Bhagwan opened within him. Now our case is through his grace, we are self-realized, and in our intermediate enlightened state, through Pragna Shakti, which is cautioning us, and we are grabbing that caution and resolving for ourselves that, okay, I want to remain in the first kalam. Especially, that's what we are focusing now. I'm just trying to explain the exact scientific part, what is happening, that due to Pragna Shakti, which is cautioning us, it is a cautioning mechanism that has opened out of grace, and we are grabbing. That is, we means our intermediate and interim intermediate enlightened state. Antaratma Dasa, what we are saying. And we are using that caution and resolving for ourselves. And that's how Shailya, who is actually in the hands of Vyavasthit, gets naturally controlled. You're not controlling, but this level of Purusharth that is uh, getting cautioned by the Pragna Shakti, it is helping us resolve, and that's how uh, it is working. And gradually, how well and how firmly we resolve, it is going to have its impact on our dealing naturally. But then it's like the past karmic force and our today's decision is fighting inside. And depending on if the force of the past karma is more, then we will miss our resolution and we will commit mistake, for which we do pratikraman, we correct ourselves, and again resolve that I will remain in the first kalam. So it's a wonderful tug of war that is going on between our past karma and our today's enlightened state. And ultimately, the enlightened state has to win, because that is having infinite into infinite power, whereas that power is karmic force of the past ignorance. So that's how we are making use of it. And as we come across such interactions, our awareness becomes sharper and firmer. And that's how we get benefit. And that's how we must join such. I mean, it is really helping us in and out, because we keep in interaction, and that's how it is. Jai Sachidanand.
Jai Sachidanand.
Kaushal Bhai?
Yeah, Jai Sachidanand. I have had two very different experiences this week, and both pertaining to Kalam 1. One was we were in a team meeting, and I blew up. I literally went off on a situation that has been going on and plaguing our team for a while. And after I went on with the entire thing, the person on the opposite end, who always used to fight and argue, he was just like, Kosha, what you're saying makes complete sense. Yeah, let's do it. And it was shocking to me, because first, yes, I did the daily prarthana that Om Nadubhai, I did the first kalam. That was my intention. While I'm speaking, while I'm like, I see myself a little aggravated, and I'm shouting, I'm pointing out the mistakes. What my assumption was at that point was that person's reaction was going to be something totally the opposite of what that person's reaction came out to. So that was very, very surprising to me. Saying, okay, how is it that even after me saying all of this, this person is like, yeah, Kaushal, you're right. Well, I am not to the point where, I want to, what I was saying was, the point was correct, but not the way I put it across. So that was one. And the other one was, again, an interaction with family members, where I had about 30 people at my house over the weekend. And, everyone has got different personalities. We have to talk with everyone. The people who had expected to say something snide, or, give a comment or something, no one said anything out of the ordinary. Everyone was actually nice. appreciated the entire process, the entire event, and the entire conversation with all of these people was extremely calm. Every now and then I know that every time we meet them, somebody has to give a comment, then I'll give a passing comment, or I'll reply to that. Okay, this is this. Nothing of that sort came across. Actually, everyone was nice. So I'm not sure how that came across, but maybe because I asked that, I don't want to hurt anyone, maybe that's what's coming back. Or but these were two very unique experiences for me this week.
No, but how often were you asking for strength of Kalam 1?
Every day. Every day in the morning, I get up and then I ask for it. And then if I invariably have to either drive out or something, then that becomes a process. Like until I reach my destination, you say 3 mantra and then you ask for Kalam 1 strength. You do 3 mantra, ask Kalam 1 strength.
Acha, continuous on
Yeah,
your drive.
if I'm driving for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, I'll keep on doing it. So that is what was my experience.
Okay, so you got a reverse experience, if I may say so, where it was the other person who cooled down, but other persons were Kalam 1.
that
They
was
decided not to hurt the ego of Kaushal. Anyway, it's a good, it's an observation, if I may say so. It's a nice observation, and it's good. It's good. That means only what we can say is the only learning from this experience perhaps could be that we need not form opinions for people. They are today like this, tomorrow maybe they not be like that. And any reaction from other side is mainly a reflection of our karmic hisab from within. If I have done something wrong, then I will get firing from outside. But if I have not done something wrong, then I will not get firing from outside. But that my wrong may be at various points of time. It will not be just today I said Kalam 1 and I get a good reaction. Those are not directly one-on-one in time-wise.
Yeah.
But yes, it's the learning is that because someone X and Y behaved rudely in the past, need not behave so now or in future.
Pulinanandji, I had a question. Every time we have asked for strength, it has been more of a personal thing, right? That if I'm doing something wrong, my Pragna will come in and say, you know what, stop, or you're going on the wrong path, revert back. This time, my observation was that I had asked for the strength. I'm having a conversation. It got a little heated. I can see myself heated. I'm finishing my conversation. And then the opposite party is saying, yeah, what you said makes complete sense. And what my assumption was, and that's true. My assumption was that this person, I've hurt this person's ego. Because he's not my peer, he's my manager. He's like a manager from other team, but still, this has been my life experience that every time I've asked for strength, I've seen myself like, okay, my Pragna Chetu mana ke, okay, don't do this, don't do that. But this time, getting an opposite reaction just threw me off a little bit.
What was the experience of the past? In the past, the same person would.
With the same person, even if you are calm, you're explaining, you say, yes, I understand your situation. The other person is heavy on you. No. How many times I have to tell you, even though he has told you only 10 minutes ago about something. And this time around, it is completely different.
See, there could be two reasons to it. One thing is you yourself have become non-violent, as we say, ahimsak from within by asking for this Kalam 1 strength. Your resolve not to hurt the other person's ego is being non-violent from within mentally. That I don't want to hurt anybody, the ego of somebody.
Yeah.
And also it could be the effect of something else. that something else is little different, and it'll call for little introspection if possible. Not everybody can do it straight away. I done some mistake somewhere, and then the reaction of which comes as a hurt to me from somewhere else. You may have, say, hypothetically, you may have hurt someone at home, deeply hurt, so that hurt will come back to you from the office or somewhere. This is typically that is hurt. Our error is at place A, person A. Reaction comes from place B, person B.
Okay.
So maybe that portion was not there, the hurt or something wrong. That something will define later on, and because of which no reaction came, in spite of you being a little aggressive. In spite of you being a little aggressive. So hurt coming from someone doesn't depend only and only on you being polite or you being aggressive. And third thing, my observation is when my punya is in force, when my punya is in force, things go my way all around me. At that time, I can, I may be very free in my speech, talk anyhow with anybody, make fun of someone, maybe little rude, maybe this way, that way, and nothing will happen to me because my punya is in force. So at those times, nothing will happen. But then when my punya goes down, then whatever hurt I've caused, all that will come from all weird ways. At that time, I'll be puzzled why it's happening. So the answer to your question is that you got an unexpected approval of your violent reaction. Maybe he saw your point of view, and maybe you were a little forceful, so he deeply saw your point of view and immediately agreed to it. You see, maybe he was a little more alert, not to your behavior or speech, but to the point you are putting across. So that is the reason he accepted your whatever you wanted to say. The two learnings, basically, we need not get opinionated. Number one, reaction of others is not because of us at that point of time. It is an effect of our cause, but that cause will be somewhere else at some other point of time. And I have also experienced this, that the same person who was not good with me in the past is now good with me now. So what has happened? Person is same, my behavior is same, but my karmic cause and effect relationship has changed. See? So in that, maybe my causes have I've got exhausted, so the effect that is coming is not coming. The hurt part of it. Effect means the hurt part. And number one, it could, number two, my punya is in force. Maybe whatever point you're putting across, in the company wants that thing to be executed, the department wants that thing to be executed, the work or nature wants that thing to flow the way you want it to flow. So it is flowing. It is not only you, it is not only that person. It is the interest of that project or work. Nature wants it to flow in one direction, so that person backtracks and says, okay. It's not restricted to only you and he reacting, but in the interest, larger interest of the project, which nature knows, company knows, or whatever. There are various angles to this episode. What we have to take gain is that he has said good, we are happy, fine. We continue with our purshad of not deciding not to hurt anyone. Reactions may fall in line, may not fall in line. The reactions of other person are result of many other things, like your punya in force, the company wanting the project to go that way. Maybe you have not hurt someone in that portion in the past somewhere else, so you're not getting a reaction from here. So various factors are there for the opposite reaction. So it's good. It's an observation. It's an observation, and we have to continue on this path. You see, the more and more we continue on this non-violent part, that I don't want to hurt anyone. Gradually, your inner enemies you will be conquering, your ego, pride, and all that stuff. And the more and more we conquer our inner enemies, they get vanquished. The reactions that will come from others, either it will not come, or whenever they come, we will take it very equanimously. It will not impact us. It will not hurt us or impact us. So this is the way I would put it. You wanted to say something.
Yeah, I wanted to ask, you said you are becoming non-violent from within.
Within. Yes.
Could you elaborate a little bit on that? Because
Non-violent means your intentions you're changing. Na?
yeah.
Today you are changing your intention that I don't want to hurt anybody. In this case, the ego of anybody. So that is the change of your inner intent. So from within you're becoming non-violent.
Got it.
From within you're becoming non-violent. The words and actions may follow, may not follow, but if they don't follow immediately, Jagrati will arise that, oh, you're doing wrong. That because you have pulled the chain in the morning that you said the Kalam one, so that awareness will come at that point of time and it will rain you straight away. But it will rain you because your intention has changed. Your inner intent of not hurting has changed because of your Purushartha. So that is what I meant by being non-violent.
Thank you. Makes sense.
Yes.
Yes, Chairman.
Deepakanandji?
Yeah. See, there are two things. We are contemplating day and night on 5 agnas, and specifically for amicable settlement, and with supporting resolve to remain in the 9 code of conduct. We will focus on number 1. So now, whatever is happening is a different story, but this is your clear intent. This is your clear and firm decision. And of course, with total conviction that this is what you want. And what Dada has said, the moment such a resolve, such an intent is there, and it is not just like once in a while, you are continuously into it. We all are continuously into it. So, that has a great impact on our own mind, speech, body. At the same time, it has its effect on the other person whom we are dealing with, their mind, speech, and body. So you have two extreme cases like you blew up. Now that blowing up, getting mad was circumstantial pressure, but all this supporting intent, what you want to do, although it was aggressive from your side, but the reaction was totally opposite. So we can say for sure that in spite of our aggressive dealing, our intent through the resolve for 5 agnas and our decision to remain in the 9 code of conduct, it definitely have a very great impact on us, at the same time on others, because these are not just words, these are like mantra. Like he has lived these principles all his life and given us out of grace his earning, his lifetime or lifetime's earning he has given us. So this is one. And second part, the meeting and gathering at home, when we are having such clear intention, resolve, and our decision with conviction, and we don't want to hurt anyone, you want to settle all relations, files in an amicable way, that has a very big impact. Like I will like to, it's not a very right example, but like how Dada Bhagwan said that even the scriptures say that when Mahavir Bhagwan was there, in certain radius, people were becoming non-violent. Even animals were becoming non-violent. And Dada Bhagwan, while explaining his state, he said that, it's like we are in satsang and someone just rushes into the room because someone was after him, trying to hurt him, trying to kill him, like. But the moment they are into the room, they come into the room, they both forget each other's state, each other's enmity, and they just sit there. And the moment they go out of the room, again, these things blow up. So definitely this has a very great impact, because day and night we are contemplating on this only. Day and night our resolve is this: I want to remain in Agra, I want to settle all my files amicably, and want to remain in the 9 code of conduct. So it is working fantastic. You have a wonderful example that on one side you are blowing up, the other person is taking it positively. Secondly, all these things where normally things becomes very aggressive or not very amicable, not very healthy, because people make very loose comment here and there, and you keep giving comment, and all that. This exchange is not a very healthy one, because I believe the kids have very bad impact on such gatherings, such meetings, because they're going to learn, they see and learn. So I believe this is fantastic. As I said, this is inner science. So with this inner scientific way we are working, and best thing is what Dada has worked for several lives. He has given us like this, and we are just making use of it. And through our dedication and sincere following, I believe these such results are very obvious, and we will continue having such things. And it's a great success on our part. Jai Satchidanand.
Jai Satchidanand.
Jai Satchidanand.
Jai Satchidanand. Okay, if there are no more.
I think so Rani wanted to say something.
No, Deepakanandji, Jai Satchidanand. I first of all, the image that you gave of the Tirthankar speaking, it's something that is always on my mind, where every heaven, hell, every life being, whether it's animal, even in hell they felt peace. Right, so that's correct. Always. So, okay, to share my experience, it has been a very profound 2 weeks. So first I said to really contemplate on the art, the Nav Kalam number 1. I need to, for me, because I have to visualize, what does that mean to not hurt somebody's speech, in thought, in mind? What really does that mean to visualize your day, your week, not hurting anybody? And through the visualization and the contemplation, things began to move more swiftly than they would have ever had if I had just stated the statement over. So I took about 30 minutes each day, and I dedicated this time to just thinking about, what does it mean to not hurt by your thoughts? What does it not, speech, I understand. Actions, we can fathom, but thoughts especially are very subtle, and I felt that there's a lot of hurt. When I was doing this, not only did I see what I avoid, what could have been happening in the time of interactions through work or other things, but what I found was that it brought up so many mistakes that I had made. It was like a flood, almost daily, a flood of just mistakes of opinions. Opinions have been, such a big deterrent into even comprehending that first kalam. So I think for me, that was one big profound realization, was how that obstructed my work, my functioning, was through all the opinions that Rani had given, over multiple years. It was a very humbling experience of how many mistakes. I would have never remembered them on my own, but that Pragna Shakti, I think, just showed me things I haven't remembered in years. So I'm very grateful for that. Second thing I realized is, then I started looking at inanimate objects, plants, animals, these kinds of things. Living in a place with a lot of nature, I felt I saw that a lot. So what became difficult for me was something I enjoy very much, was gardening. I very much enjoy gardening, but now thinking of every plant, bug, worm, thing that's growing, like, doesn't that also have a right to exist? Why should I weed and pull up and rip the garden, and this is probably the limitations of my understanding. I would like your explanations on this, but simple acts. I realized, like, walking to take out the trash, I was walking on the grass. I never used to think about it. Then I thought, if everything is Atma, this grass is even living, and I'm walking on that. So, we're making so many mistakes. It's like we don't even have time to really live without asking for forgiveness for all the constant, hurt that we are doing just by living. So that was one thing that I was very appreciative of, the being able to really acknowledge it when I was on walks in nature and that kind of thing. But also then when you interact with plants, when you're weeding, when you're doing these things, it must be causing dukh to those beings. How do we live our lives like that? And so that's my question, but my experience has been profound, because for me, developmentally, I don't feel like I'm strong enough to even understand what it means do not hurt, thought, word, or deed. So I really needed to think about that every day and visualize what I would want. And then for Kaushab's response, what I also did was do 3 mantra to say, let me know how to block or have obstacles to not hurt anyone. So then I would do 3 mantra to strengthen that. So that has been my experience over the last couple of weeks, and it's been amazing. And I will stop there.
Very good. You see, basically, you had a very firm resolution. Very firmly, you decided to practice Kalam 1. Very firmly, you decided to ask for strength of Kalam 1. Because you said one more very good thing, that you were saying a 3 mantra to remove the obstacle which would arise in practicing or implementing the first Kalam. So that is very good, huh? No one does that. Simply otherwise people normally ask for the first Kalam strength. In addition, you are saying 3 mantra, there may not be any obstacles, so that this may come into force, or this may come into action, So that's an indicator of your deep down and true strong intentions of flowing with Kalam 1, of practicing Kalam 1. So that's very good. And because of that, you started contemplating on it, and you found that by speech I can understand, by behavior I can understand where I'm hurting. But what about thoughts? No, generally this stage comes at the end, for an average Mahatmas, they focus on the speech and this, and then there are many corrective actions over there, many thought processes and controls and all that, Sanyam and all that will come up. But you went as one step ahead on the Syadvad Manan, or the non-hurting thinking aspect. That's very good. And that is where you reflected upon and found that you have got tons of hurting thoughts in the form of various opinions. That you are opinionated, this is he or she is like this and like that and this and that, and oh, he will do that, oh, he should not be doing this. You are goody on the words but bad on thoughts, That's internally you would think little uncomfortable about them. That you could capture this is a big thing. The capturing of the thoughts which are of the hurting nature is a very big thing. It's a very big thing. And in the whole process, you discovered that yes, there are many such things that are going on or have been going on in the form of opinions or in the form of likes, dislikes, but at the mental level or the thought level. And that's very good. You see, the crux is over there. the more and more we realize the mental aspect, what is happening within us, where we are hurting someone's ego at the mind level. Now, if it stops at the mind level, then the speech and actions will automatically stop. Automatically. Moment I feel, oh, he's a useless, no, he's good. So then my speech and actions will automatically fall in line whenever I next see him. And if that thing, oh, he's not a good person or he's an idiot, then when I see him, I'll say good, but all my thoughts, my speech may not in front of him, but in front of the friend, I will, oh, that speech will flow, oh, that fellow is the idiot, because at the mind level, that idiot remained, that opinion remained. You see? So the really key is really at the mind level or the intellect level, whenever hurting thing happens, where you hurt someone's ego at the mind level by way of thoughts, at the intellect level by way of opinion. If you are able to square it up there and there, that is, you just erase it or say cross or it's wrong, then the speech and the actions part will be automatically aligned with that. You see, it starts from there. It starts from there. So if you are able to catch this and continue that, I would say continue that process, and more you realize that you will gradually start going one step down, where you will start also analyzing what are the beliefs that lead you to form such an opinion about such a person. What are the expectations which were not being met, and then you got opinionated and had dislike for that person or person's behavior. So it'll take you one step down to the belief, and if you erase or gradually change those beliefs or this thing, expectations and things like that, then the thought will also be aligned, and the speech and everything will be aligned with Kalam 1. So that was a wonderful thing. So first was your firm resolve. Second thing was you went to Syadvad Manan, in this whole process, that half an hour of visualization, contemplating, going back down in time, and try to find out why it's happening and what's happening and what has been happening so far. So we have gone to that Syadvad Manan Karwani Param Shakti, give me the strength to non-hurting thinking, So that was very good. And that is generally the crux of Lord Mahavira, or that ahimsa, or what also in our terminology we say, Prap Man Vachan Kayati, with our mind, body, speech, may I not hurt anybody. That's the global format for all of us. Man Vachan Kayati, koi pan jeev ne kinchit matra dukh na. That is the ahimsa Mahavrat in the Jain Karmic term, this thing. The first Mahavrat. Ahimsa means non-violent. And Dada also said that by mind, speech, body, not to hurt anybody. So you really went to the essence of this, essence of that non-hurting by mind, body, speech. So it's a very good thing. It's a very good thing. So you carry on. What will happen is this heightened awareness at the mind level, at the thought level, will also overflow into heightened awareness at the speech and action level. And that is there by default, it'll come. You don't even have to do anything about it. If you catch your thoughts, the speech and all will automatically get caught in case they are of the hurting nature. Because in the heat of in the heat of a moment, during any interaction, that is likely to happen. That is likely to happen. When things go absolutely weird and wonky and the person doesn't listen, so you may have a tendency to be little, harsh. May have. And you'll catch it on the spot. Oh, you're breaking Kalam 1 by speech. That will follow. So continue. It's very good. I was just analyzing what you said and putting it into words, that you weren't in the pure non-violent mode, pure Syadvad Manan part mode, and that will help you much. Good, nice. Continue. Yes.
Deepakanji?
Jai Sachidanand, I like to put this point, what Dada Bhagwan has said for himself, that I cannot afford to remain different at mind level from anyone. So regarding non-violence at the mind level, thought level, this is the thing. What it means, opinions are bound to differ, but sticking on to your opinion is not right. So if you stick on to your opinion, then he said your opinion has grabbed your mind now. And once it catches your mind, then that separation is bound to happen, physical separation. So he says that is the highest level of highest level of violence, to go against or to have different opinion from others. So at the face value, accept it and then put your point with a clarification. Otherwise, at the face value itself, we blow up. This is ridiculous. This is absurd. I cannot accept it. I just made it very big. But otherwise, okay, I agree. But, you can think in a different way also. So putting your point in a very polite way so that it doesn't hurt the person at the face value, accept the person. So that is regarding mind. Now, regarding our violent dealing or living, we breathe, it's a violence. We walk, it's a violence. And our physical movement is also violent. But we are not able to understand, as Dada Bhagwan has said, gradually we become so much aware of all this, our breathing, our walking, our movement, everything, not only just my thinking, speaking and deeds, but even at the level of our interaction, we become non-violent. But that is later on story. What we must focus now is obviously when we deal with people, then through our mind, speech and body, mind, speech and deed, we should ensure that we don't hurt anyone. So this is what it is. And I believe, what is the meaning of inanimate? Non-living is inanimate?
Or I should say immobile, but I shouldn't even use that term. It's really just anything that's a plant or animal. It's not inanimate at all. It's plant or animal, but especially plant, not moving where you can step on it, or you have to pull up weeds, you have to cut the, flowers, those types of things. So immobile.
Okay. No, I just wanted to understand. Anyway, I'll do my research also, just find out. But we say that something which is non-living as inert. But these are all living stuff. Plant, animals, even one sense life. But the idea is, don't focus on all that. Yes, it is there. And one good idea what Dada Bhagwan has given, to save a few dollars, we do it ourselves. So what Dada has said, it's not cheating, but it's an understanding that to avoid a bigger loss, you get away with a smaller loss, in the sense that you give that order to someone else for moving and other stuff. So you don't have to cut them, do anything with them. Do you understand?
Yes, I do.
You're not fooling anyone. You're not fooling anyone.
Right.
But you are doing things rightly. But just to save a few dollars, we do it ourselves. And the outcome of that is what, any life is hurt or killed by us, it has impact on our awareness, our Jagrati, which we cannot afford. And I believe we can definitely afford to pay a few dollars to the person who moves your garden and moves your backyard and so on. Right? Jai Satchidanand.
Yeah, but this question about pulling the weed. I have also contemplated this many times. Sometimes I really feel bad. Like there's a garden, we have flowers, right, and there's some weeds. I feel that I should not be taking out, but then just to keep a harmony with the environment and neighbors and all, you need to do that. So, you feel that you should not be doing, but you do it. So, what does that mean, you know.
You know what? Deepakanand may be right because he has heard it. I also happened to hear a clip on that, a conversation I think Mahatmas in America were having with Dada Bhagwan. And someone raised this same point that Dada, we do all this gardening, pardoning, and then we are hurting so many, worms and all that stuff. That's harmful, na? And Dada did not say directly, but said, yes, that you have to think now whether you want to hurt yourself or you don't want to, your Jagrati. So without saying so, but he did meant that if you're doing it just for the sheer sake of your hobby or for your liking, goodness or something, then this violence for a Mahatma is not desirable.
Yeah, Pulinanandji, this is not to do with gardening. It's not gardening. They mow, they cut the grass, cutting grass and all that stuff, landscaping and all. Gardening is a different, totally different thing. Gardening, this is not gardening because they want to save few dollars and they do it themselves.
Then it's the same thing. Basically, cutting grass, then cutting out, removing the weeds. Then there'll be some worms who will get hurt or killed, and all that.
Right.
All that comes in that. I understood. Basically, I wanted to tell that basically you indirectly, Rani, by way of contemplating on the Manan part of it, and then she realized that she's also doing a lot of violence in this gardening stuff. So that's very good. I'm saying that's very good in this process of contemplating the first agna. You went to the mind level, and then you also that awareness focused on that other activities. So that is definitely, one is the non-moving plants, that is one sensed. All the plants, vegetables, fruits, trees come in that. So those are one, and the worms and others, those are the moving two sense organisms, maybe three. So hurting them is definitely very, very undesirable. And Dada Bhagwan had said that agriculture or farming, if I may say so. There were some farmer Mahatmas who said, Dada, we have to spray a lot of insecticide, pesticide to save our crops and all that. And we are doing a lot of violence. Dada said, that's true. That's true. And then Dada said that farming is the most violent profession where the maximum number of violence, Jeev Hinsa, violence of the living beings, we are going to kill. But Dada said, no, nothing can be done because that is part of your discharge you have brought. You can't stop farming tomorrow because that's your only source of livelihood. So what to do? He said, you must do pratikrama every day, or whenever you do this hurting activity where many living beings are getting killed, you must severely repent and then say, may I never get such type of situations wherein I have to hurt someone. May I not get such a profession, or may I not land into such situations where I have to hurt someone. That bhav you have to do. So just extrapolating that, here it is not for livelihood, it's just maybe that's the culture in America where everyone has a house and a little lawn and front or backyard and whatever. So then you decide how much is essential and how much can be curbed, if you really want to be truly non-violent, even for those 1 and 2 sensed organism or living beings. Decide which is very essential, which is not very essential. So you could curtail that. It'll help you a lot. And as he said, don't do it yourself. So, and I tell you, as you really deep down decide to be non-violent, then the priority that you have on your maintaining your garden or whatever you call it, lawn and all that the importance and priority in your eyes will reduce, and you will not be too hurt vis-a-vis in comparison with your neighborhood or your neighbors. Everybody keeps their lawn and all tip top, so you have to fall in line also, or people will start commenting, hi, you're not taking care of your lawn, all visitors or anybody who come to your house and all that. So that again impacts us. So the moment you decide that you want to follow Kalam 1, and for your enhanced Atma Jagrati, you're doing it, it'll reduce the importance and priority in yourself, number one. Once that is reduced, then you will do the actions. And number three, you will get the solution from within. You will get the solution from within as to what to say, when someone tells you, "Hi, you're not taking care of. What a weird thing you are." I tell you, you just decide and you will get wonderful solutions. You can maintain a non-maintenance garden, where there are a lot of pebbles or, tiles or something. You can have equally decorative first place, but you don't have to hurt or do any cutting, futting and all that. So people will then appreciate, oh, you have something new and nice. So your intentions will get taken care of. And what to say to passers-by or friends or neighborhood that you are not in line with them, that also will get taken care of. The worldly relative drama part of it will get taken care of, because we are living in society, so you can't be totally out of place. But via media will come, where that part of is also taken care of. You don't do the cutting cutting because you have grown something equally aesthetic stuff, maybe some marble stuff, some stone stuff, and some other type of attractive stuff. And your intentions for moksha marga is also taken care of, and worldly dealings are also taken care of. You're not out of place. For that, a sincere and a deep down prayer, I don't want to hurt Dada. I've brought this, like the farmer has brought this profession. You have brought this as part of discharge. This is nothing but a discharge moha, love for such things. So that's part of a discharge. Now that I had charged in my ignorant state in the last birth, now here having got Gnan, my direction has changed, thought process has changed. So, hey Dada Bhagwan, give me the strength to be non-hurting, and that discharge also gets scared off. And I follow today's agnas, today's first kalam and all that stuff. If you just pray, I can tell you, I have experienced it firsthand and many Mahatmas also. It will work. You will get beautiful insights as to how to strike a balance between the two. Just pray to Dada and Dada will give you the solutions from within. I am very sure it works because I have had first-hand experience.
Yeah, but also the Pulinanji is something like us. We live in an HOA, Homes Owners Association. So external is not our part. They have to do cutting and all that stuff. So we don't do gardening as such. But once in a while, they miss some weed or something. I try to push it out, and that's where I feel bad about it.
I mean, that is also fine. You see, this is first order. But if someone wants to go still on the second order, a little deep down, a little more subtle, you are not doing it, but you are doing the anumodan, ન કરાય ન કરાવાય કરતા પ્રત્યે ના અનુમોદાય. તમે રાખ્યું છે તો કોઈ કરવાનું છે ને, તમે એને કરાવો તો છો ને. પણ બહુ સૂક્ષ્મ છે, અત્યારે કઈ બહુ બોધર કરવાની જરૂર નથી. ટાઈમ પરમિટ અને કઈ હોય તો a piece of information to be kept at the back of the mind. But ultimately you have to reach at the most non-violent state of affairs at the back of the mind, not to be too this thing. ભાવ કરવામાં શું જાય છે? ભાવ તો કરો, પછી કુદરતી રૂપકમાં લાવશે. How I to nature.
We do that all the time.
So even anumodan will come out, will go away. I tell you, Dada says to just decide to be non-violent. Everything else nature will take care. Because whom are you following? You are following Dada Bhagwan. On his instructions, you are following the Akram path to moksha. So Dada is there to help you all the way out. You decide to what level of Purusharth you want to stretch yourself. To what level of Purusharth you want to stretch your non-violence, non-hurting intentions by speech, by mind, and by this thing. I am there to help you out. And I tell you it works. I tell you it works. Anyway, that's on the sidelines.
Now our time is up. Unfortunately, we couldn't get to the Charan Vidhi or the Aptavani one, but hopefully next time we'll have some time. Okay, Deepakanandji, please do the Tamantra. Oh, and in the meantime, we'll continue with
with Kalam one.
Okay, Deepakanandji.
Namo Vitragay.
Namo Vitragay.
Namo Varihantanam.
Namo Varihantanam.
Namo Siddhanam.
Namo
Namo
Siddhanam.
Siddhanam.
Namo Ayariyanam.
Namo Ayariyanam.
Namo Vasayanam.
Namo Vatsayanam.
Namo Loe Savasahunam.
Namo Lohi Savvasahanam.
Eso Panchanamukkaro.
Eso Panchanamukkano.
Stavapavapranasano.
Sarvabhavapanasano.
Mangalanam cha Savvese.
Mangalanam cha Sarvese.
Paramam Havai Mangalam.
Paravam Hari Mangalam.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namah Shivaya.
Om Namah Shivaya.
Jai Satchidanand.
Jai Satchidanand.